particular reason we've got live camera tonight?
No.
I'm gonna do a dance on the table.
All right. So I'll move to open the meeting of this April 13, 2016 Groveland Conservation Commission.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right. So before we get into the hearings, we have two hearings tonight, which are both continuations from last month, 129 Main Street and 1 Apple Blossom Way. We can't start those till 7:30. But we've got a few other things that we can talk about between now and then. And so I'd like to skip down to item number 3 and 4, which are closely related. The first being 86 Washington Street. It's a Groveland RDA for cutting down a tree within the wetland buffer, I believe. So, Heather, you visited that, right? Maybe you
Yeah,
can
it was
tell-
within 81 feet.
81 feet, okay, that's good. It's not too close.
You sure it wasn't 80?
Wi-Fi.
Let's see, I have that here somewhere. I hope I do. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so Mr. Klausnitzer applied for the ability to cut the tree down, and under a GRDA, all we need to do is approve it, take a vote, and then we issue a letter for that. So, does anyone have any questions
Yes.
on it? Yeah.
So you marked the tree
Yes,
with what?
he marked it with a yellow ribbon all the way around the tree.
Is it particularly significant one way or the other? Either is it dying or is it just?
Dying.
Okay.
Did it look like it was dying to you?
It had a split down the middle.
Okay.
I don't know what that.
Probably his ants and something there inside.
He's taking down one tree that's much further away, about 150 feet away between him and his neighbor. And they said while they're in there, they can get rid of the dying one. So,
So here's what the letter says. You agree to notify the commission the day you remove the tree. The tree will not be felled towards the bordering wetland. No equipment would be placed within 25 feet of the bordering wetland. Nothing will be placed in the wetlands, and the tree stump will not be removed below 4 inches above the surface of the surrounding grade. No other work will be permitted under this agreement. So that's,
he actually has a driveway where the
Yes.
crane is gonna be parked to take
Yes.
it out of there.
yes, good, okay. So, I'll hear a motion. Somebody want to make a motion?
I make a motion to approve the 86 Washington Street GRDA tree cutting.
I'll second.
Any discussion on it? Any questions on the, okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, abstain, unanimous. All right. I'm going there tomorrow for a reason which I'll tell you later on, so I'll give him this letter. Okay. The next one is for 10 Ashcroft Circle. And this is one that I visited, I think it was on Monday or Tuesday, I forget. I think it was Monday. I visited, and the applicant has 3 dead or dying trees on the rear of his property, right behind his house. And they are approximately 50 feet away from a intermittent stream that runs behind his house. This is on Ashcroft Circle between the rail trail right away is behind it. So, let's see, I think the trees are like here, there's one over
Oh, is
here.
that power lines?
Yeah, and there's a stream way over here that runs, if you wanna look at that. And so I would advise us to put the same conditions on it that they, same thing, you know, notify the day they remove him. He's gonna have Valley Tree do it, so I'm not really too worried about what they'll do. And, you know, not to fell them towards the wetland, no equipment within 25 feet of the wetland, nothing be placed in the wetland, tree stump not removed below 4 inches, and not, no other work is to be permitted under that.
This is just for my edification. Why do we have issues with tree stumps?
Well, because it usually involves excavating to get them out. And so we don't want people bringing a backhoe in there to get rid of the tree stump once they've cut the tree down, because then you're excavating, and then, you know, we don't like when people dig holes in the wetland buffer.
Okay, I just want to know.
Yep. But that doesn't mean they can't, like, put something in the stump to have it rot away or whatever.
Or, I mean, they could file in
They
the
could
hay
grind
bales
it.
and grind, and they can do more extensive work if they want, it's just more
Yeah.
involved in.
Yeah, right, if they wanted to do more extensive, they could.
Okay, I was just thinking like stump grinders are just a thing that.
Yeah, right, right.
Something like that, but they'd have to ask for that. Okay.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we approve the cutting of these 3 dead or dying trees at 10 Ashcroft Circle.
Can I ask a question?
Yep,
Sorry. Are they gonna be able to get there? Where's the equipment have to be?
the equipment has to come in.
Do you think it's gonna be a problem, basically?
No, I don't think so. I think they're gonna come around this way over here, which they won't even be within 100 feet, because they got this big crane that comes in and just takes them away.
Okay. I'll second that motion.
Okay. Any further questions on the article here? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Okay, unanimous again. All right.
Can I have a photocopy, can I get a photocopy of those letters?
Oh, yeah. You want a photocopy to put in file?
Well, that plus for the notes too.
Oh, okay, sure. Here, because they're the same, if you want to
Okay.
make a copy of that. Okay. All right, let's see. We've got some minutes from April 14th and March 13th to approve. Has everyone seen those minutes? I don't know, Tom, you haven't seen them yet, have you?
No, I have not, because I came late.
All right, we're still working on them.
We're still
down
working
here.
on.
All right, all right, so we'll come back to the minutes. Let's talk next about enforcement issues and visits follow-up. So, the first one we'll talk about is 194 Main Street. If you recall, we talked about this at our meeting last Monday on the 4th. That was, I heard from a couple people that, you know, some work was being done. I went and looked at it, found that the wetland buffer had been, the edge of the wetland had been marked. I contacted the owner. I got his email from the building inspector and met with him on that Monday afternoon. And so then, late last week, I asked him to put erosion controls at the 25-foot buffer line and also around the 2 large piles of soil. I went by there today and the erosion controls are in place, so that's a good thing. And I also got contacted by the wetland scientist who had, or the company anyway. No, it's the, it's not the wetland scientist, it's their engineering firm, Merrimack Engineering. And he said, because I asked him to file something with us, and he said they were under no obligation to file, and what they were planning on doing was going to the planning board and zoning first before they file with us. So, very interesting though, I looked in the bylaw, and in the bylaw, it says that you cannot put a commercial building within the 100-foot buffer. And this is clearly a commercial building.
Well, I had a question on the first part. When you
Yep.
said, when you talked to them and said they were gonna go to the building inspector first, but they started, and they weren't gonna come to us first, but yet they started moving material, do they have an understanding that they have to come to us before they move material?
I would assume, but, you know, still haven't got a good answer from them why they did that. You know, he had told me that it was miscommunication with the people who were actually doing the work.
Besides that, they're within the seasonal restriction time period.
Yeah, no, I know. No, I mean, clearly, they were violating the bylaw. So,
Did you ask any of them to come tonight?
no.
Did they offer to come?
No. So when the engineering firm said that they weren't intending on coming, I wrote, unfortunately, I didn't print it out. I responded back with an email that said, you know, I would advise you to come and talk to us about any plans that you might be making, because our bylaw says you can't put a commercial building within 100 feet of the wetlands. And, you know, the wetland scientist says exactly where the wetlands are, and 100 feet covers almost 75 to 85% of the property. So I don't know where they came up with this plan here. It's ridiculous, it's laughable.
Understood, but before we even get to that,
Yep.
did they have a cease and desist order?
No,
again?
they didn't need a cease and desist, because they're not doing anything else. I told them to stop work, they haven't done anything else.
Right, so basically where we're sitting right now is as long as they don't do anything else,
Right,
and we're waiting for them to come in front of us. If
Right.
they do anything else, we need to immediately order a cease and desist
Yes.
order, they've been told.
right.
Can we ask them to move the equipment? Because if that thing leaks, it's about 10 feet away from the stream.
Yeah, probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
I mean, because I look at it, until they file with us, they can't do any more earth moving. Whether they believe that to be true or not. I mean,
Yeah,
Their intention is to put a commercial building in that spot.
well, according to the plans I have in front of me here. But nowhere in the plans does it even show the wetland buffer, you know, take a look at that.
Well, one of the things had the flags.
Yeah, that's all, but they don't talk about that on there.
No, they
So
don't.
it's almost like the engineering company isn't in touch with the wetland scientist or something.
So they're allowed to put a huge mile of dirt there and have all the equipment there, and they're still not considered being in violation.
No, but I think the point that he's trying to say is that they're not, that it looks like they haven't even acknowledged that there was wetlands there that they had an issue.
I agree with that, yeah.
Well, the fact that they had someone
Well-
come out and flag it leads me to believe they understood there were wetlands, and they
Yeah.
actually paid someone to come out and
Right.
flag it, so.
And it says, you know, they're not even disputing that they are wetlands, which they could potentially do. The wetland scientist says that it is clearly a bordering vegetative wetland, was flagged in the field with blue ribbon and metal tags. So we don't even have to argue anything. The company is saying that it is wetland, which, like I say, the 100-foot buffer extends almost to 80% of the property. So I've got to get in touch with them again tomorrow, because I got a couple of other questions about the hay bales, and I will ask them to move the equipment out off the site.
I mean, and the reason I ask that is we always ask anybody else if they're doing something to not store it, and it
Yeah.
seems like until they file and we have a meeting and the
Right.
others are notified and we approve it, it's at least a couple of weeks.
Yes. Right. No, I mean, it probably won't be for a couple months, you know, by the time they're not here tonight, so they wouldn't be here until potentially May. And I don't think we're gonna approve anything in one night. So that's the update.
When you talked to them, did you have a discussion about the trees they cut?
No, because I don't really, I mean,
Well,
the main thing I don't want them is doing any work, so that's the main thing that I do not want them to do is any more work there. And it seems like they understand that. I think we can address some of these other issues. You know, there's a lot of issues, a lot of questions. You know, why did you do this without a permit? You know, did you cut trees? Why did you leave two big, huge pile of dirt, you know, within 75 feet of the stream there? And then those plans don't make any sense when it comes to our bylaw. So, you know, I have a lot of questions for them.
One of the questions I have is this plan is dated February 26th, and it clearly references staked hay bales, but they only did it this weekend.
Well, they weren't doing anything until we told them to.
Right, no, I'm just saying, they're clearly were aware of the need to do staked hay bales, then,
Yeah, right.
and they clearly were doing stuff without getting any approval.
Right, and the letter from the environmental company is from November, so, you know, they've known since November 10th that there's wetlands on the site. So I don't know, you know, I'm sure this is not over yet.
well, I'm not gonna make a motion to do this, but I just wanna remind everyone, a few years ago, somebody did something very similar, and they got fined, and they
Yeah.
had to replace some trees, because we could not determine what was cut from where, because they had removed so much material in the 2 or 3 days before we found out about it.
Yeah.
So, I can easily imagine something like that to be fair and equal, something similar would happen on this site.
Yeah, well, we might, you know, I mean, we're keeping our options open here, because I want them to come in and we can start
So-
asking them some
So,
questions.
did you take pictures of the site for us?
I did.
I did.
Okay.
I have a few too.
I emailed them to everybody, actually.
I took more on
Okay.
the weekend.
Because the key here is if, in fact, we're going to let this stand for a minute, waiting for them to come in front of us, if we can see anything changed in any of those pictures, we need an immediate cease and desist with a $300 a day fine.
Yes, well, and then I've got to take some pictures with the erosion controls in place too, so that I know that
So-
that's going to stay.
When did you ask them to put it up, the hay bales? Do you remember? And did you see any, Heather, when you were there on the weekend?
I didn't.
No, I
Don't
didn't
actually
get,
walk it.
I didn't get
Walked
to
it today,
them
they were
until
there.
this week, Tom.
Yeah, no, I saw them today. I was there Thursday night, they weren't there.
Yeah.
And it was raining. It
Right.
didn't,
Right.
you know, luckily nothing was, as best I could tell, going in the stream, but I'm just, my reason for asking is how responsive are they to
Oh,
our requests? Or
No,
do
they seem to be responsive. They
Okay.
seem to be, that's why doesn't make sense. You know, I don't get it. Why?
I think we need an explanation from them as to why they thought that they were capable of starting this project
Yeah.
without coming in front of us
Yeah,
and doing as much destruction as they did, and only responding after we went after them, and thanks to Sam,
yep,
the building inspector, for stopping them continuing.
absolutely. So hopefully they'll come in. But I want to see, like, the engineer called me, so I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow. And I'm gonna ask him, you know, what are their plans are they gonna file something with us? Or if not, I'd like them to come into our May meeting.
Well, my guess is it should be an NOI at that point, which means we have to wait for the state before we can close anything.
Yeah,
And the other thing is, if they're in direct violation of the bylaw, why would they think we would automatically just ignore that? I mean, they clearly spent a whole lot of money getting plans and everything,
yeah, I know.
and all they had to do is read our bylaw.
Right, I know. Right. I don't know. I can't tell you.
But they're not able, at this point, to move forward in any way whatsoever. Is that a correct statement?
Right, they're not gonna do anything, you know, I've told them they can't do anything without applying for a permit. So, I didn't get any pushback on that, so seems like they're agreeing to it, so that's a good thing.
And you pointed out to them that the fact that we're not allowed to have a commercial building within 100 feet?
Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
Let's see what they show up with.
right? Maybe they're busy altering their plans. I don't know. All right, there were some other enforcement or visits that we made, if you remember, back in March, and I haven't been able to follow up on them because we didn't have a lot of progress on a few of those visits, so I've got to make some more phone calls on those. Let's see. So quickly, let's go back to the minutes. Are we ready to take a motion on the minutes?
Not quite.
No.
Close, though.
No? All right, so we'll come back to those at the end then. All right, so it's 7:30, and I believe that, let me see here. Okay. Russell DeFazio was here first, so we'll talk about that one first. So, if you recall, so we'll reopen the hearing from March 16th, continued to tonight, and this is for a Groveland notice of intent for a new garage. And if you recall, we talked all about it. I think that we've got everything all set with it. It was just that we need the green cards.
These are the ones that actually got sent back.
Okay,
It's 29 of the 31 that I had to send out.
yep,
And they all went on the same date, which is the 22nd of March. So they all arrived well within the 14-day
Yep.
period.
mhm,
And these are just one of the few things they give you when you
Yes.
send out certified
Yes.
letters. You've seen before.
that's great. All right, so, you read the minutes, so you know what we said last time. Does anyone have any other questions about the garage?
We were just waiting for the
Updated.
green cards and stuff. I
Yeah,
think, right?
well, and then if there's any abutters that want to ask any questions about it.
Did we want an updated map or something, or is that not here?
Let him do it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Here's those in the middle.
Yeah, we're,
Do you live on Ashcroft?
no, we.
Apple Blossom,
we
right
live-
across the
I
street
mean, I'm
from
sorry,
we live
Apple
at
Blossom.
Two Apple Blossom.
Two
right
Apple
across the
Blossom,
street.
so there's an abutter here from Two Apple Blossom
And
and
your name?
From 5 Apple Blossom.
Five.
Caruso, Edward and Mary.
We don't usually get
So if you're facing his house, are you
a
on the left or the
compliment
right?
of approvers.
Well, we're just facing his house, I'm on the
Yeah.
left.
Okay, so you're the one with the pool, oh, you're two down
My
from there,
feeling
okay.
is, if you live
You have
up
a
here
pool, I think,
in
don't
your
you, or-
garage,
Yes,
Okay,
yes, I agree.
unfortunately, the builder kind of put the house on a weird,
Yeah, he did.
you know,
Yes,
he put it weird on the lot. Well, they kind of put all of them weird. on a
Yes.
lot of
You're
things.
at an angle on yours, aren't you?
We are.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
we have no backyard.
Gotcha.
We're the corner
Yep.
lot thing across the street, and we have like no backyard. We have all front and side,
Right.
which does us not too much difference.
And the person over there is, what's your name, I'm sorry?
Mitchell.
Valerie
Valerie
Mitchell.
Valerie Mitchell? And what number are you at?
5.
Are there any concerns or questions from the abutters?
You get to store stuff in his garage?
All of it's house, right?
Let's see what his wife says about whose car goes in and whose doesn't.
all right, yeah.
You are building 2-car, right?
Yeah.
Smart guy.
All right, so I think last time, we talked about erosion control, so I've got the order all written up here, and this is what I said, based on what we talked about last time. A continuous barrier must be between the limit of construction and the wetland areas, starting at a point 25 feet from the middle of the rear of the existing single-family home around the work area and extending to the property line on the northeast side of the property. And no work shall take place outside of the erosion-controlled area or within 50 feet of the adjoining wetland. Erosion control barriers can consist of either double stake hay bales or stake silt sock, and 20% extra should be on the site in case of a problem. So that's pretty standard. And if you recall the map, if you want to take a quick look at it before we vote, or close out.
I also wanted to verify one thing as well.
Yeah.
If it is approved, it includes both the garage and the driveway structure in the front, because parts of them both come within the buffer zone.
Okay,
And then there's this little side thing on the side of the garage that's, should be on the one you have. The one that might not be on what you have is a small walkway that goes from the driveway to the front door.
okay.
So I just wanna make sure that all those things are covered if it is approved, so we don't run into any problems.
The walkway's in the front, guys, so it's sheltered by the house, so.
Yeah.
All right, so we want to make sure the walkway and the driveway are talking about. I'm gonna have to add that in. Is that, can I keep this?
Yeah, sure.
You don't wanna come back in front of us again?
Let's open, kill a couple birds with one stone.
Yep. All right, someone want to make a motion then?
Make a motion, we approve the plans, hang on, dated September 30th with the handwritten changes, moving the garage to the opposite side of the house, showing the driveway and the walkway on the side of the house, in addition to the front walkway that was discussed tonight.
Second.
And close the hearing.
And close the hearing.
Okay. All right, so any final comments? Hearing none, then we'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, abstained, unanimous. Okay, so I'm gonna pass this around, if you can sign it for me. And what I'm gonna do is just make a change to add on the, where it's appropriate, mostly on the first page, add the walkway on the side and the driveway within the buffer. So I will probably drop it off to you tomorrow or something, once I make those changes.
Yeah, I wanna make sure the contractor sees the buffer
Yep.
zone and all that stuff, so we can follow the plan.
You can start next Monday, right?
15th is, we have to wait till
Friday.
the 15th.
Friday, so probably Monday.
Did you wanna keep this or something that Valerie wrote?
Thank you guys for coming too as neighbors. I appreciate that. Nice of you to make the time.
All right.
Sure.
I wasn't sure if I was gonna get here or not, so I wanted to. All right,
Just
thank you.
a note, a letter of affirmation.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. Hey Russ, you got good neighbors.
Yes.
I know, yeah, lucky guy.
Yeah, really.
So the permit and stuff?
Yeah, so that, what I've gotta do is I'll take it home, make that change, and then I'll give it to you with the directions on what you have to do. You have to take this to the registry of deeds and,
Oh, right, okay.
yeah.
Alright.
All right.
Just drop it off then?
Yeah, I'll drop it off. I'll probably either put it in your mailbox or stop by your house
For,
tomorrow.
your patience and, you've been jumping through hoops, going through different boards, and we appreciate your patience,
It's gonna be worth it in the end, you know?
yeah.
Yes.
Do you have to go to zoning
Yeah.
too?
They
Yeah, I
turn
had to
it
go
on.
down first. That was a rougher road.
Really?
All right,
Why?
Well, because I originally went on the other side.
Oh.
There was a class-based constraint, so
Oh,
it was a
no.
variance situation that was not projected.
Gotcha.
But on the other side, so it's okay. You guys.
all right,
you.
you're
Good
welcome.
Take care.
All right, good. All right, so the next one is another hearing that we want to reopen, continued from March 16th. This is 129 Main Street, Groveland, notice of intent for an addition to an existing single-family home. And if you recall, we visited this site last month, yep, March 19th. And so the reason why we continued it, because we have the green cards, but the notice, what was it, Julie? The notice didn't
There
say the.
wasn't enough time.
Yeah, there wasn't enough time, right,
It had to be 14 days and it wasn't.
right, okay. So presumably, all the abutters have been notified, and there's nobody here to complain or ask questions, so that's a good thing. And if you recall, we talked about this also. Here's my description of the erosion controls on this site. Let's see. And if you recall this from our site visit on March 19th, says, continuous barrier must be between the limit of construction and the wetland area, starting at the handrail at the existing deck and continuing in a circle at the bottom of, to the bottom of the stairway at the rear door of the existing dwelling. And erosion controls, hay bales, and they gotta keep 20% extra on site for, in case there's an emergency, and that's pretty much it. Anybody have any questions? Did you have any other questions?
Now, do I go out and buy hay? Yes.
I'm actually
Your
surprised to see you here.
contractor.
I
Seriously,
thought
that's
you
an
were,
honest question, like, do I buy hay bales and put
You-
them around?
Your contractor should do that.
Okay, but
Yeah.
that's why I'm just.
Yeah, he'll, let him go out and buy the hay bales for
Buy
you.
straw, not hay.
Straw, okay,
Straw doesn't have seeds in it, so you have a whole field of.
straw, not hay.
Good tip.
And by the way, we're spelled conservation. Can we get that spelled correctly at some point?
Where does it say that?
On TV.
Conservation?
I'm not sure what committee I'm on, but maybe
might
spelling.
wanna, yeah.
CONSER.
Wow. I wonder how long it's been like that.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on this one, so, or take the fifth.
Well, we're co-serving.
Co-serving, yes.
Actually, actually, last time I thought you were gonna like miss the next
Sorry,
meeting,
I-
so we're happy to see you, I guess, right?
They told me not to come today, so.
Okay, back to the
Yes.
serious business at hand. I
Yes.
apologize for.
So does anyone have any other questions before we take a vote here?
No.
All right, so somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept it.
He's trying to get out of it.
No.
So you make a
You gotta
motion
recite that whole thing.
to accept the plan as submitted and close the hearing,
Correct.
yes.
Thank you for succinctly telling me
Just
what I'm doing.
clarifying it a little bit, right.
I'll second that.
Nice.
Any questions on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say no. Abstain, unanimous. Okay, so, again, I've got it all ready for you to sign, so if you can pass that around and sign it, and we can actually give it to our applicant tonight. Just need a photocopy of that, Julie.
Okay, so I go to where do I go to Salem?
Yes, here's some
Is there
directions.
of what to do next? Okay. No, after I
go to Salem, do I have to come back here to get a building permit or
Oh,
anything? What's the
Yeah,
next-
you probably have to go to the see the building permit, yeah.
Okay, or I'm thinking the contractor usually does that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
yeah.
I give him this, or just once this is filed, you guys know, and then he just comes and.
No, I would make a copy of it for yourself and make a copy of it for him too.
Yeah,
So when he comes for the permit, he just.
You
brings
always
that.
wanna
Yeah.
give it to, if you hire a contractor, this is for anybody listening at home,
Yeah.
you need to give it to your contractor, cause they have to follow the rules.
Right.
Okay, so he needs a copy of what I get back from Salem.
Well, you make a copy of this before you even go to Salem.
All right.
And then the next step is, once you've got that, then your contractor or you can call us about a pre-construction meeting where we come on site and just hear from the contractor what their timeline is, their emergency contact information, and we take a look at the erosion controls.
Okay,
I think it says it all in there,
okay.
and plus in here. All right, so Julie, if we can just photocopy that.
I don't think we ever voted, did we?
Oh,
Yes, we did.
yeah, we
No.
did, it was
All in
unanimous.
favor?
Okay.
Aye. Way back.
Is that what she's recording right now, what she's making a photocopy of? Cause I can
Yes.
just, if you give me a check for $75 for made payable to the Commonwealth, I'll record. I work in Salem.
I'm sorry, if I give it to you now?
Yeah, cause I can just take care of it. I'm in the registry every single
You
day.
don't wanna go to Salem.
Really?
I'm an attorney down there, I do this every day.
Every day, if I give
You
a
need to,
check
I can't believe you put that on
It's
TV.
$75 to record anything like that, so I just need a check for $75 payable to the Commonwealth and that thing, and I'll take it.
And then you'll do it, and then when would I get it back, like next week, or
I can, yeah, I can send it wherever you want.
do I have it
Let me
back,
tell her
like,
to
a couple of
make an
days?
extra call.
I'd need an, I'd need an,
I brought my checkbook.
okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and just write your address down and it's online too, salemdeeds.com. If you go there, you can print it out, anything. It'll be on tomorrow.
Okay, oh, you'll do it tomorrow?
Yeah,
That'd be great, okay, that will save me. Yeah,
Yes.
one of the reasons I asked.
Salem's a
is
nightmare to
because
go.
Well, one of the reasons I asked is because I had taken so much time, personal time off for work, and then I just went back to work, and then I was like, I teach, so I was gonna do it next week.
Yeah, no, this is,
No, it's fine.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
I wanna do it tomorrow.
yeah.
My husband worked in Salem for years, and every time like it rained, or he said it was
Yeah.
a nightmare just trying to get in.
Yeah, flooding in PVD. No,
Now everybody's gonna want this
Yeah,
service.
No, I'm literally on a first name basis with every recorder, so I mean,
We never get this done like this. No.
Yeah.
It's just,
It's a
it's great that
That's
you can
the
do
issue.
it. Usually, I'm lucky if I get it done by the next month, like this one for 29 Cannon Hill. You can start taking a look at that. That needs to be signed.
That's about 50%.
What is this about?
That was from last month, the in-ground pool. Remember, it's in the backyard over there by, Cannon Hill.
And who should I make it to?
That was the one where we got the letter from that woman saying that she didn't think it was a good idea to put a pool in 50 feet away.
I put tomorrow's date on it?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. And how much should I make it for?
75.
So she can see original?
John's gonna take the original.
So do I need a copy now?
Yep. You can have 2 copies, one for you and one for your contractor.
Is that a question?
Copy for you.
All right, that's me. That's my email address, which is the best number. That's this number, it's the only number I use.
Okay.
Any document that's recorded at the registry down there is, you can just get your own copies of it, just print out.
Okay.
That's the website for salemdeeds.com, and then you just put in your name and the delineations, and you're all set.
Okay, but you're gonna give me a copy, right?
Yes.
I'm not gonna be printing it from
You,
this.
you need to give me your address, or is it gonna be on your check?
It's gonna be on my check,
Okay,
but let me give you, I'll give you my cell.
that's fine.
corner of Plant Mountain.
You know, here is the, there's no executive summary I ever put on here about the,
Yeah.
I see the details of the stuff, but it would be good if we had a little section that had the executive, well, here it is.
Yeah,
The
right.
library.
Okay, gotcha,
the
gotcha,
station.
Got it.
I'm literally
Signed.
like a quarter of a mile from here.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that goes with
You
it.
got the, is your husband licensed?
I used to own the painting and design company.
Okay.
That
So-
was me.
Across the street from her is the guy who does the irrigation.
That's, yeah, that's
Okay.
Patrick.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he's the landscape.
Okay, we have anything hard today? It's going too easy.
Sorry.
No,
Hey, we can try and be home before 8. That's always awesome.
If I'm not there for some reason, you drop it off, right? where
I'm
you
just
put
gonna
it on
drop
the-
in the mail.
You'll see my mailbox,
Yeah,
right
You're
by
gonna
the
get
front
you get a
door.
mail from my office. I'm just gonna go print it out. And
Shall we
mail
do,
it from Salem.
minutes?
Oh, you're gonna mail it from Salem?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I walk by your house, my wife and I do all the time, but it's
No,
easier.
Oh.
right, I was like,
All right,
is- do we have
perfect.
another one or
All
something?
right, if for some reason,
Yeah.
let's see if I like.
that's from last
You'll see it
month.
because I'm going.
That was one
to
we,
New York.
that's our
Cool.
normal
Friday, so-
routine.
Okay. You going to Manhattan?
Is this the
No,
above
upstate.
ground?
Oh,
My mom's
No,
side,
this
similar
isn't,
to what you're doing.
what does it say
Different
there?
area.
In ground.
well, good luck.
The above ground was
It's got up right now,
16
so-
Pandora.
And best of luck with yours.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay,
Have a good night.
all right, so, we can take a,
Oh, okay.
we can take a motion on the minutes.
I make a motion to accept the minutes with the changes that have been outlined. I guess we need first, send me one of them. Oh, you still guys working on it?
No, I was just reading about the pool that I just signed.
Right. Let's start with the minutes for April 4th,
Yep.
to accept those with the changes made on page 2.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained,
I'm gonna abstain. 'cause I'm
one
not in New York.
abstention.
All right, I make a motion to accept the minutes,
Here, Julie, that's signed.
March 16th, 2016, with no changes.
Second.
Any questions on that one? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say no, abstain,
Abstain.
one abstention.
Can Tom second that?
Yes.
He was all over.
Oh, no changes to this one, huh?
No, that was the March one, I believe.
Okay. I can't believe how efficient we are.
Apparently, we're friendlier than some other boys,
Yeah, we're not barking at people.
according to the townspeople.
Yes. People smile when they come in, and they're still smiling when they leave. Okay. All right, so back to Lower Center Street update. Just a quick update on a couple of things. I've been out there a couple of times recently with one of the neighbors, looking at a lot of things from the winter. Noticed that the parking lot, the bus turnaround parking lot is kind of a mess. It's, the hot top's broken up. I met with Bob Arakalian about a few of these issues. There were some trees cut down where we were not told, but they were cut down.
Trees
Like
cut
big
down?
trees by
Yeah.
the highway department, or?
Yeah.
Also, other than that TP thing. that we
Yeah,
found.
no, other than that.
Okay.
There was a tree next to the stream at the far end that was cut down because it was falling into the water. So it's okay, I would have appreciated hearing about it before they did it. And, there's like 3 tires that need to be gotten rid of. Somehow another blue trash can showed up there. Let's see, other bad news. What's other bad news? And most of the plants that we planted last year are all gone. The jury's still out. They may come back, I don't know, but seemed like they didn't make it. So, that was the site, but that's all the bad. But the good about the site is that it really wasn't, it wasn't messy. There wasn't a lot of trash around. The boulders are in place. I've spoken to the highway department about repainting the no parking signs on the street, on the hot top. They're gonna do that. What else? I think that's about it, as far as the state of the site. Different subject related to Lower Center Street and VZ Park. Last Monday, the selectmen asked a lot of questions. They were unhappy with the proposal that I wrote that we put forward for CPA funds to fund permitting of a picnic area at VZ Park and re-permitting anything that might have to be done at Lower Center Street, and also removal of the some of the water lilies in Johnson's Pond. So they weren't happy with the proposal for a number of different reasons, so I withdrew it. So they're telling me that, they might be willing to hear about it again if I'm more specific about what we want to do. So,
How specific? I mean,
well,
putting a picnic area at VZ Park, I mean, do they want like an exact location and the size of the picnic table? Is that kind of specific?
I guess, I'm not quite sure. I have to watch the minutes, watch
So-
the thing again, because
So
I
I
don't quite sure, I'm not quite sure.
I was there, so I'll give you my 2 cents in the audience, right? Where Mike was on the hot seat, I had the opportunity to just listen. From Selectman Dunn, he specifically wanted to know what the money was going to buy, which at face value is a reasonable request. Is it going to buy changes to picnic tables or not? Is it going to buy permits? I don't think he wants to micromanage it, but he wants to know at a high level, here are the things that we're gonna get
There's
for
like
the money.
budget or the estimate or the quotes or something like that. Yeah, okay.
Well,
And I'll actually argue, I
Yeah.
think it's both ways. I know he said he didn't want to micromanage, but I'm gonna guess he probably wants to know as much the things that aren't gonna get done as much as the things that are gonna get done. Was my take on it. He just wants to understand what it is we're gonna do or not gonna do.
This is only with VC though, correct? Not
no,
Lower
it's
Center?
also Lower Center Street.
See, I think that those two should be just divided completely. They're totally different areas, and I just don't see how one has anything to do with the other than the fact that we're repurposing one of the picnic tables from Lower Center Street
Well,
over to VC.
They don't really, there were 3 things in the proposal. There was clearing the water lilies out of 8 acres on the pond, a new picnic area, potentially a new picnic area and some kind of launch or dock or something. And then the third piece was any permitting that we needed to do and having a landscape architect come in and kind of refresh and design the whole shoreline of the Lower Center Street. So I think that, yeah, we could divide it up, but see, I put them together because it's a lot easier to put one CPA proposal in than it is to put 3 separate proposals in. And they were all related by Johnson's Pond.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to create additional work for you, because I know how much you do, which is astounding, but it just, everyone seems to be like batting it back and forth, and I just see that, all the discussion we had concerning Lower Center Street was just having to do with the one specific area, which has nothing to do with, development of VC. And,
Right.
And I see that the Board of Selectmen seems to get kind of confused by the issue
Yeah.
as to what we're looking at, and maybe that would be helpful if we just treated them as separate issues, but I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, well, I'll take that, because I don't know what I'm gonna do. I gotta think about it some more and look at it.
Given the attention on this particular area, I think that we,
Yes,
i.e. any proposals that that you're creating or we're creating, we have to be very specific here because it has a lot of attention, I guess is the right way to say it?
yes, yes. Well, but like I told them on that night, I said that it was not specific on purpose because we don't know what we were going to do with Lower Center Street. That part of the project enabled us to do the permitting process based on, a landscape architect coming in and saying, oh yeah, if you want to keep this picnic area, here's how you can do some erosion control and repurpose the shore and fix it so that it's not going to be affected by too many people going in or whatever, So I tried to be as non-specific, like I didn't want to say, we're going to put X, Y, Z here, and, because we don't really know, because we need more input from a professional. But, they weren't happy with that. So I had to think about it.
Is that the only thing that they were looking for specifics on? Because
That was the
Okay.
majority
because
of
I
it.
feel like you gave them enough
Yes.
information on the
Oh, I
basis
thought
of-
I thought I gave them plenty of information too, but, that's my idea, but not necessarily their idea. Yeah, I think it did focus, because of the problems there, that, unfortunately, that kind of colored things. But also a couple of them weren't happy with removing the water lilies. One thought that none should be removed, and someone else thought that all we should do is have a pathway cleared through it, so a boat could be launched at VZ Park and you could get to the outer part of the pond.
I was at a meeting where one of the selectmen offered to do it himself.
Yes. Well, I did hear from the neighbor that he contacted the state, and Representative Mira and Senator Tarr are willing to get us some funding to do this. Or he just said they're gonna take care of getting them out of there. So I've yet to hear what that really means, so who knows? Maybe the state's gonna take care of it, which, that would be great, because then it wouldn't be on us at all. If the state says they're gonna get rid of it and they're gonna say how they're gonna do it, then, presumably, again, they'd have to file with us in order to do that, but, it wouldn't be on Groveland's dime. So, there's a lot going on down there, because it's spring and, everybody's kind of waking up. So we'll see. But so far, so good. I mean, doesn't seem to be much abuse of the Lower Center Street area
So
going on.
is the actions that we voted on in place? There's one picnic table, there's
Yeah,
one bench?
no, not yet. We haven't made that change yet.
We should make that change.
Yeah, I know.
Do you need help making that change?
I probably will.
We should make that change soon, because
Mhm.
if we voted and we said we were gonna do it, then we
Yes,
should do it.
I know, right.
So it's easy to remove a picnic table. Where are we getting this bench from?
Well, we need to buy one. We can do it. We do have a little bit of funding left. We'll have a little bit of funding left at the end of the year, so let me check on a bench.
Can we, I'm sorry, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, no, I don't know where you buy these things, but if we can get something that either would be like goes in the playground or something that's fairly
Yeah.
robust.
Yeah, metal or,
or just at least that someone can't just pick it up or burn it.
Right,
No,
Yeah,
we talked about this when we voted on it. It would be a high-quality bench.
yeah.
I
Like
think
what
we
they
should,
have.
I think we should get the assistance of the Boy Scouts who set it up originally and find out
Yeah.
where they ordered it from and involve them in the process, since it was their baby as much as they may hate us for taking out the grills. At least-
I'm not under the impression that that would happen. They said that, you know, they don't really want to be involved with any projects for us anymore, so unfortunately, but I'm not overly concerned about, you know, doing it. It's just, it's gotta be done. I put it off because we were going through the winter, but now it's spring, so now we can do it.
How we gonna get rid of that concrete platform? That's not so easy.
Which concrete platform? The one that the table's attached to?
No. Wasn't there an additional concrete slab for I thought there was an extra one where they were lighting fires on top of.
Mm-mm,
I think they just boxed things off with a wooden square,
yeah,
but I don't think there was anything
Okay.
cement there,
yeah,
so.
no,
Right,
no.
the grill area.
Yeah,
Yeah, that doesn't
That
seem
needs
to
to
be
be-
a problem.
I'd almost
Mm.
rather leave it until we have, well, I guess it would be next year before we can get a landscape person in there to take a look at it, but I'd
Well-
be reluctant to move stuff around too much unless we're sure that we have it stable again afterwards.
Yes, you know, I mean, that's the other thing is, you know, if we believe, which I do believe this, that we really shouldn't be doing anything down there without a permit, then we probably shouldn't do anything to the site, any changes to the site, until we file for a permit. So we could wait,
File for a permit to remove,
Hey, Mike,
yes,
you should check with Whittier, they build concrete benches.
okay,
They did a bunch for George.
Yeah.
Just paper material. and they'll
Yeah.
build it up.
so, you know, if we want to be consistent, because I think that it's important that we are consistent. You know, what's been removed, we can't just stick it back there regardless without a permit. Because we didn't have you know, we made the mistake once of not going through an entire permitting process. We went through an informal process when we put the picnic area in. We should have, in hindsight, gone through a formal process. So I don't know if we want to make that mistake again, flying by the seat of our pants. So I like the idea of waiting.
my 2 cents is that I don't know when we're going to be able to address the anything larger than replacing the picnic table and putting the bench, which is a thing that we positively voted for. I think we should execute on that with speed, and the rest of it may take years, who knows?
would you?
So you think we don't need a permit to put it?
No, if
Well-
we need a permit, then let's do a permit, but let's get on with it, and
Just
let's,
a permit for
let's get it over with.
Removal and the installation of it.
Well,
I
we
mean,
have
do we
to
really,
have a hearing.
if we're gonna have if we need to have a permit just to be able to remove a picnic table and put a bench in, fine. I'm not sure I fully believe that, because
Well-
we're not disturbing any ground, and
Well,
we're
we
not.
will, because you know, the thing
on
is
a
cemented
concrete-
to the ground.
That's if
so-
we remove the cement thing, I mean, maybe
No,
we
but-
need to do that.
But if the bench, so removing the picnic table is just lifting it up,
Yeah,
and the bench,
It-
if we just put it down, we
That's
put it
right.
down. If we
Well,
have
but
to-
again, you
I don't
have
believe this
to,
requires a permit.
you're gonna have to excavate to put the bench in.
No,
Why?
Right, so if we're putting concrete, then
Yeah.
that's a different thing, but
Right.
if we're, I guess it sort of depends what kind of bench we get.
Well, you gotta put something that stays there permanently, or it will be gone after a very short time.
If there's a concrete pad that the thing's already on, it's a simple matter of just putting a lag bolt through the bench bottom into the concrete slab that's already there. That doesn't, we don't need anything more than us just, if someone else asked for that right now, anybody, we would give them a letter, and that would be the end of it. It's not disturbing any additional. I don't think we need anything more than that, and then a letter to ourselves to
Well-
go do it.
We're in the 25-foot no disturb zone. So it's like the highest area of care should be taken with that.
Whatever logistics you want to do, Mike, but we should just do it.
So do we just wanna, is the idea you wanna notify butters within 300 feet? So here's my thing, I don't think given the work that we seem to be talking about, I don't think we should use the town's money to pay for green cards and all this other stuff. I don't think it's unreasonable to say we create the standard letter and mail it out to everybody. But we're.
Yeah, but that's not, the point of it is this, that, we're going to be doing some work within the 25-foot no disturb zone. It's like, we're the Conservation Commission. If we don't have a hearing on it, then how can we ask anybody else? Somebody coming in and needs to put 2 sonotubes in.
So let's
into
have-
a-
let's have the hearing.
I'm fine with the hearing. My point is, like Carl was saying, like, we did it with the trees and stuff. People come in and either just ask for a letter or ask permission, we go look at it, or,
Yeah.
Something much more, like, we didn't require these people for the tree cutting
Yeah,
to
but those
send
weren't
out green
within
cards.
25 feet. It would have been different if they were 25 feet away.
Yeah, but
Whatever you want to do, Mike, let's just do it.
I don't want to do it, but I think we have to do it.
If you think we have to do it, then let's do it. And
Yeah.
but I agree with Carl, let's move on it quickly. We've already gone to the trouble.
It's been months since we voted it, and I just
Well,
want
we
it
didn't do
over.
it because it was winter time.
right,
Yeah.
so now it's
Right.
spring, so let's, and.
So we
and-
couldn't have possibly have done it before Friday. So
'cause
Yeah.
now we're gonna have to have a hearing
Are we
on
gonna put
it.
it on the May calendar?
We'll try to.
Yeah.
we should-
And then, so this would be good, because basically, the item that we said we were gonna do, we will have executed on and then for additional stuff, like for instance, how you were asking the selectmen for that additional stuff, all that additional stuff is gonna rely on more complicated agreements of things.
Right,
That can take a long time.
right. Yeah, this is minor change. I don't think we need a professional to advise us on this one. It's pretty straightforward. All right. I think that's all I've got.
Do we have to move on that, or is that just?
No, we don't need to take a vote on it, because we're gonna just have a hearing.
Great.
And we already voted to do, I know what we wanna do, so, it's a matter of collecting all the information and then putting the stuff together for the hearing.
So is it GRDA?
I don't know, I gotta see, it'll probably just be a GNOI, but I'm not 100% sure. I gotta check what the state rules are. If it qualifies, under their rules.
I mean, effectively, this is pretty much the same as when someone wants to put a pad for a dock,
Yeah,
right? And it's
Right.
only like,
oh, yeah.
it's only like 6 square feet.
Oh, I know, but,
Yeah.
all right, so our next meeting is back to the second Wednesday, which is May 11th, 2016. And are we all set with Monday nights?
Yes.
Do we have May 23rd covered?
So, it says maybe Terry, but do you wanna do May 23rd? I have you down for the second, John.
I don't mind doing the 23rd as well, if you want me to. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, how about if I put you down, and then I can call you and let you know if Terry,
Yeah, that's fine.
okay?
So just FYI, no sign-offs on April 25th, that's town meeting night. And then the following week, which is the town election, there will be sign-offs on May 2nd.
Are we, do we have any warrant articles?
Let's see, yes, transferring some funds, transferring our stipends to our expense account, and also renewal of the VZ Park revolving fund. I think those are our only two articles. Hopefully, there'll be no pushback on either one of those. All right. And no other business? Nothing else? We'll take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Seconded?
I
Oh,
wasn't sure if that was a motion.
all right. Yeah, Mike made a motion to adjourn the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Good night. Thanks for watching.
That was the easiest night.